Morning. Another walk in the woods. Gotten through quite a few of these. Thanks for hanging with me, those who are regular viewers. Of course, the talk today about is, or at least the talk in the air today is about, opening up. It's that balance between health and people and economy. Of course, they're all interrelated. Can't seem to can't talk about those two issues separately. So when it comes to, what's important in my life, I'm kind of a lucky guy because I get to isolate with my bride, with the woman I spent 40 years of my life with and who I deeply love, and that's a great blessing. But what else do I do? Well, many of you know I'm a pastor of a small church between Madison and Milwaukee, and we're talking about what's that going to be like for us. I'm also a member of a clergy group that meets weekly in Mount Horeb. I value my time with them to discuss theological and pastoral problems and just the stuff in life that we're all going through. And I don't get to do that, and seems that Zoom doesn't quite do it for me. Maybe I need more social cues than Zoom. The other thing I have is I belong to a martial arts club, and I've been practicing martial arts off and on for all my life. Seems like from days of high school wrestling, through Taekwondo, and Judo, and Kendo, and Aikido, and Iaido, the Japanese sword, and that's what I'm practicing now in my sort of older age. And then that involves we do things we do have paired weapons practices, and we can't do that anymore. So that's a big loss in my life. So those are really my three communities are my church community, my martial arts community, and my pastoral group. So how do we open those things up? And how do we keep safe? And that's going to be the challenge. And the one that I'm sort of firmly committed to, and not sort of, but am firmly committed to, is that I'm not going to be able to listen to my sort of civic leaders on this, but I'm going to have to listen to what the medical community has to say, in consultation, of course, with my bishop and that. But we don't have to do this. We can do what we think is the best, and that's going to take a lot of conversation. How do we do that safely? Just this morning, they're talking about opening up restaurants and the circulation of air, and that goes for churches too. People are in there. What's the air circulation? And what are the precautions we take? Some churches have talked about keeping a minimum number of attendees and having tickets to come worship, and worshiping outside, and going back to the kind of the drive-in movie concept. All those have been, and of course a lot of churches are doing virtual worship, and I do that every Sunday, and then members of my church, we get together on Zoom and talk about experience and what's going on in our life. And those are very important things to do, to have those connections. But it's not the same as being face to face. It just doesn't seem to be the same. And I feel a sense of loneliness in that. It's kind of giving you a little touch of connection and communication and important human interaction that we need. But it's not quite all of that. And that leads to a lot of consternation. So I know things are I pretty well not thinking about things are ever going to go back to the way they were. But they're going to be something new, a new way of doing things. And that's what we're going to have to do until we get this vaccine and everybody's basically immune, and the virus does not control our lives anymore. But I think that'll take a while. But in the meantime, we're going to have to use our noodles here and kind of think about how can we do this best? Can we meet our needs there, and how can we be there for each other, and how can we protect one another? I think that's going to be the challenge. So we're in this together. It's not that we're in the same boat, as they say, but we are weathering the same storm, but we're not all in the same boat, and that makes a difference. And unfortunately, the people who we most depend on are the people who are most vulnerable. So let's keep them in our thoughts and prayers as we go forth, and let us move on. We will, as I keep on saying, we will get through this. God bless. Have a great day.